So, distraction in the classroom, that's one thing, but it's not the only issue surrounding access to smartphones in schools. We're joined now live by Christine Schandl. She's the research manager for People for Education. Thank you for being here, Christine.
Thank you for having me.
So, let's start here. Is this a proven way to increase aptitude by weaning young people off of the smartphone, relying on, traditional, tactile, textbook and talking, that kind of thing?
I don't know about that, and I think that an important thing that you're getting at here by asking about, like, is this a proven way, is the importance of evidence and research when making policy decisions. Consultation definitely is important in a democracy, but also evidence in terms of making those decisions. And if our outcomes, as you said, is to improve student achievement in the classroom, then that's definitely one outcome that we could have from the move to ban cell phones. But it sounds like there are other things on the playing field as well. Cell phones are not a one-dimensional tool. Right.
Well, the fact of the matter is, for any millennial out there, they're an extension of their life, an extension of the way they learn too. It puts them on a different part of the learning curve as well. It's not just a recreational tool, and they certainly know that it's not meant to be a recreational tool when they're at school.
Right. Well, it's certainly a recreational tool, at least in part for all of us, I would say. But yeah, like we have actually, People for Education is coming out with a report on April 8th about the way in which technology is used, partially also cell phones are used by teachers and in the classroom. And it can be a really important learning tool for teachers. As a teacher myself, like when I was able to rely on technology like that in the classroom for my students, it was really helpful. And I know that we don't know all the details of this policy decision yet, but it's really important that we consider how learning takes place in a 21st century, like 2019 classroom. And it's not always just textbooks, and maybe that's not a feasible way anymore to always be learning just from pencil and paper.
The critics out there are going to put this decision in a box with social engineering in a respect, right? The sex ed curriculum reversal, budget cuts, that kind of thing. Is that fair to even discuss?
I don't know. I think that what we're seeing are these type of decisions to affect student behavior. This is taken up to a provincial level, and it's really, like, currently it sits in the hands of teachers, principals, and boards. Some boards can make decisions or have policies and protocols, but all of those decisions are based on local authority and deciding what's best. And it's just a change. So when we think about policy decisions, there's so many repercussions. We need to be very careful when we're making big policy decisions for a whole province. So I think it's just taking the time to think about what the implications are of making decisions for a whole province.
Yeah, the enforcement enigma could cause some blowback too, right? Students that are used to, again, not just communicating, but learning, even in the school environment with their phone, you could foresee the need for conflict resolution officers in the school to keep the peace the way that the student resource officers were doing until they were booted out.
Yeah, well, it's hard to think about. I know that they said that the way in which this will be enforced will be dependent on the school board. But also just thinking about the range of things that cell phones can be used for educational purposes, because I know that, and they also said that special consideration will be given for students that have special needs. Right. But there are many classrooms where not students of special needs, but all students are just told, okay, we're doing our work portion of the class. Everyone can take out your iPod, your music, and get to work. And I know just from teachers that I talk to that sometimes that's really helpful, having students zone in onto their work using their phones and music or things like that.
So education writ large, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the most important, with all the other issues that are in front of this government right now when it comes to education, where does this rank?
That's a hard one. I think that, they came in with this as a part of the platform that they had, so this politically makes sense. I think that for education, there are many issues that are going right now. There are many considerations, and we've got, our funding announcement coming up for the province. So it's kind of taking everything as a big picture right now. It's interesting to think about the moves that this government is making, but I don't think that I can give you a straight answer on the number.
You don't have to get into the politics. Christine, thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right.